What is going on, everyone? Tena here, and today in this video we're gonna talk about the best teams that you can use with Nuviet. Depending on your situation, you can use any team that I mentioned in this video with Nuviet at C0. You have to keep that in mind that he has no interruption resistance, right? Which is why I always recommend people to use Zhongli, because it's like so easy going. But if you don't have Zhongli, the cheapest one you can go with is going to be Nuviet, Fischl, Sucrose, Beidou, or Xingqiu. If you were to put Beidou in this team, you have to make sure that you parry. Without the parry, your energy recharge requirement for Beidou is gonna go up so much. It's just so bad. And then also, make sure that your Beidou is C2 or else. Fischl, as we all know, there's this passive from Fischl that is so good. If your current active character triggers an electro-related elemental reaction when Oz is on the field, the opponent will be hit with Thundering Retribution that deals electro damage, and there is no ICD on this shit, which is why this is very, very good. So I would say, when you're trying to come up with a Nuviet team, you kind of start the base with Fischl and Nuviet in the beginning, if you don't have other characters to combine him with. Because you always have to come up with two teams in Spirit Abyss, right? That is my first recommendation team for people who doesn't have a lot of characters. And the second team, it is either you use Kazuha or Nahida. The reason why you don't want to put both of them in the team, unless you have a special reason, is because when you quicken the opponent, you can no longer swirl with Kazuha. And then yes, after a while, when that quicken is gone after a certain amount of elemental application with Hydro, that is really something that you have to keep in your mind while you're playing Genshin Impact, and that is very sweaty, right? So the Hyper Bloom team, I usually recommend Raiden Shogun, because that means that you don't have to care about like reapplying electro skills. Like for example, Fischl. One downside of Fischl is that you have to keep your Oz out in the field all the time. I often kind of mess up because I don't like to be too sweaty in Genshin Impact, okay? If I were to put all my attention into one thing, especially in games, I would do that in League of Legends, not in Genshin Impact. I just want to chill here, okay? So, Raiden Shogun is my selection for the Electro character. We're gonna have Nuviet, of course. And then the last character recommendation is gonna be Zhongli. So, in that F2P team, we had Beidou because she's going to be applying Electro and also going to be giving you the barrier so that you don't get knocked back. In my opinion, you can probably replace Raiden Shogun with Fischl as well. If you don't have Raiden Shogun, it's totally fine. Fischl is very broken, like I said.
I have several questions.
Can I use Yae Miko?
Yae is not good for Nuviet's team because by having Yae Miko in the team, you're going to make the rotation longer. Nuviet's field time is going to be about 27 seconds, which is insanely long compared to other characters. And also, Yae Miko's personal damage is not going to be good unless you have like C6 Yae Miko. So it is always going to be better for you to use Raiden Shogun. If you don't have Raiden Shogun, you can use Kuki instead. And then, here's going to be one with Kazuha. Kazuha, Nuviet, Fischl in here, and Zhongli. So it feels like Zhongli is like the best character to put. You can create the Geo reaction with the Hydro, which means that you can use Archaic Petra. If you pick up the shard, the elemental shard that was created by the Geo reaction, so if you pick up the Hydro shard from the field, then you get that damage bonus, right? So that is always good for Nuviet. So that is it for C0. And C1 team recommendation. So this is where it kind of gets interesting. Just hear me out for fun, okay? You don't have to agree with me or not. So this is where we can get rid of one reaction. Before, at C0, you had to have 3 kind of reactions to get the full bonus, right? If you add another Hydro in the team, you're gonna get the elemental resonance, right? So you could either use Yelan, or you can even put Child. And interesting thing about Child is that you don't even need to rotate to Child. Because the reason why we're using Child is because 1, for the resonance, and 2, we want that extra skill level. The reason why I would like to use Yelan, although we're not going to be getting all that Hydro damage here and there, is because of her A4. After you use your ultimate, you get this Exquisite Throw. When that is active, your active character deals 1% more damage, and then you get 3.5% damage every second. It goes up to 50%. So that is quite similar to how Mona works, her ultimate, right? So after you apply your ultimate, your damage bonus is 60%. While that doesn't last for a long time, Yelan's lasts for a long time, so it's better over time. And also, if you don't have Yelan, you can use Xingqiu because of this reason. In C2, you decrease the Hydro res of the opponent, And that is going to make some difference. And here's another notable character I would like to mention. You can also use Barbara.
What?
Her C2. Your active character gains 15% hydro damage bonus. And before we move on, I would like to give a little more explanation on the reason why I don't talk about Cookie when she's widely used for Hyper Bloom. Cookie, you need to get close to the opponent, right? And with Nuviet, unless you have Zhongli, you don't want to do that. And if you do want to use Cookie, you're gonna have to move towards the enemy, which kind of defeats the purpose of the reason why your range is a little far, right? The reason why I like Nuviet so much is because he opens up so many possibilities for the team. Like, for example, compared to other Hydro characters, what can you use Child with? He's the best with National team. Child National is the best team for him, and that's pretty much it. Like, I can't really stand him in different teams. Yes, it would probably work, but it's not the best. Just in case, for those people who is like thinking about pulling for Nuviet, but probably not because they have Child, I can guarantee you that Nuviet is so much fun to play around with. His charge attack feels so smooth. Here's another team you can probably use. So because we're taking out one reaction, you can use Nuviet, you can use Nahida, and 2 Electro. We can have Raiden Shogun, and we can probably have Fischl in there. And, you know, what more can I say about this team, right? We're gonna be losing the HP bonus from the Hydro Resonance, but this is gonna be a very good team since Fischl does so much damage. I think it's one of the mistakes that Hoyoverse made when they were designing the 1.0 characters. And then also, here's another notable team I would like to talk about. I was playing around with this team, and then I was surprised to see some big damage number in between. And I liked it a lot because, you know, I like the damage per screenshot. It would be better for me to do the demonstration before we go on, but this is how this team works. Put Dendro, Bennett, and then we will see some big numbers here and there. Yeah? 100k? And then here's the thing. So let's say there's no ultimate. That's fine. We can still apply Pyro consistently with her E. Xiangling Z, I meant. Little clunky, but you can still play around. The reason why this works is because Nuviet's charge attack does not apply a lot of Hydro. It's weak. It is always going to be Nahida's E on the opponent, right? So even when there's Dendro, Nuviet is going to use his charge attack. There's going to be Hydro, and then that Hydro goes away, and we're going to create a seed, right? In the meantime, if there's going to be Pyro application, the enemy will start to burn. And then when Nuviet hits the opponent, vapes, there's going to be another set of Dendro application from Nahida's Trikarma, and they're going to keep on burning. Same way how Reverse Melt Ganyu works. Okay, we're going to talk about C3 team. We're going to get 3 levels bonus for his normal tech, right? So, from all that C1 recommended teams, we have to minus Child from that. So having Child kind of becomes meaningless. It will be better for you to replace him with something else. And then, for fun, we're going to cover some C6 team, okay? So a lot of the people came to my stream and thought my team was Copium, and they thought I was kind of trolling. But here is what I like to use. And yes, this is the whale team. Ayaka C4 shreds defense. Kazuha gives you damage bonus. And Yelan, we know what she does. A4, damage bonus up to 50%. I was very surprised to see the damage outcome. It was insane. I'm just gonna mainly take a look at Nuviet's damage, okay? I'm not gonna use auto attack in between Yelan's Q and the rotation. All right. Look at all this damage. Insane. Some of you guys might argue that Yelan C6 is still stronger. And yes, that is the case if both Nuviet and Yelan are C6 and have the proper team. Simply because Nuviet's full rotation takes a long time and his field time is insanely long as well. However, when they're all by themselves without any buffs or any other teammates, and if you're comparing the raw damage of each, then Nuviet C6 is stronger. Bonus section for this video. I know that a lot of the people are probably thinking about what is the best weapon for him. His best in slot weapon is the best for him. Obviously, it's called best in slot for a reason. The second best is gonna be Sacrificial Jade, which you can get from the Battle Pass. So it is this, Sacrificial Jade, it gives you crit rates, and then it says when not on the field for more than 5 seconds, max HP will be increased by 32%. But even when you get R5 of this weapon, a little bit worse than the R1 best in slot, it is a good thing for small spenders because you can guarantee that in $10, right? And then the F2P version for his weapon is going to be Prototype Ember, as I have mentioned in my previous guide video. And also, another question that I've been getting from stream here and there. Hey Tenha, is C1 Nuviet better or C0R1? Compared to the value or how much Primogems you have to use, you want to go for C1 if you can get rid of the shield. And you can go for the weapon if you cannot get the Battle Pass weapon or get rid of Zhongli. So anyways, with all that being said, today in this video, we have covered all the popular Nuviet team comps and the weapon recommendations after doing some research. Alright, I hope that clarifies most of the questions that you have on Nuviet so far. You can even leave your questions on the comment section. I will take a look at them and try to answer them in the next guide video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel with alert settings, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.